Hello, spicy friends. So, we are back today and we are going to be discussing this book. JL was the one that recommended this series to me. And so far, I've read book one and book two. I'm
Guilty as
sort of,
charged. Sorry,
sort of,
not sorry.
I'm sort of dragging my feet on book three because the two that I about are. But needless to say, I did not know what I was getting into whenever I started this because I was just like, "What is this about? It's got like a bird and like the woods. Like, what is this?" So, like, what would you
222.
call this book? 222. We were looking for a quote. What would you call this book?
Buckle the fuck up.
That would be accurate. Definitely accurate.
Buckle the fuck up. Because you are in for a wild ass ride.
There it is. Okay. We were looking for a quote in the book because I marked a few a few paces, but like I, as you can see, many thoughts. But like I was not number one. I was not ready to fall in love with Sean right off the bat. Like Sean, I'm Team Sunny Days. Sean is just he's so sweet and thoughtful and reliable and just I want Sean. I want a Sean. Why can't I have a Sean?
You
But
want Sean to call you pup.
yes, I do. I will even sit on my knees and fucking pant and he can give me a pat on the head. I don't care.
Oh, how did I know that was coming?
I think I need to say at this point, we did send a link to Kate Stewart. So, madam, if you ever see this, I apologize.
Yeah,
Just
she's turned into a Sean simp.
like he's just he's just I mean, it's
But clearly we all know where I stand. Hashtag Team Rainy Days.
well, I mean, it's not that I don't like Dominic.
Oh,
It,
I know you do.
like in my ranking on the filter that I did today on TikTok, I put Dominic top and then Sean and then Tyler. But like I put Tobias at the bottom
Ooh, honey.
at number 10 below her dad.
Ouch! Damn!
Okay. So Flock is about it's tagged as a modern retelling of Robin Hood. So we have a
Yes.
bunch of guys that drive amazing fucking cars and they're just kind of like this tight-knit brotherhood and they're kind of
Mhm.
like they're doing good in the community but they're also kind of like getting some revenge at the same time, which is like, it's the best of
Essentially
both
like Robin Hood, steal from the rich, give to the poor.
and the only rich person is oh god, Roman Horner. And I don't think I have ever met a father in a book that I hate more. Like this man is the most the most epic douchebag. Like the douchebag of all douchebags. But that doesn't even pale the comparison how much I dislike Cecilia's mom. Like
Oh yeah.
such deep trauma. But I mean,
Oh,
essentially
wait till you get to book 3 because you're gonna see just not necessarily. I think you might have a slight change of heart. You may have a slight change of heart once you get to book 3.
maybe, probably not. But that's in a different book. So in Flock, we're introduced to Cecilia. She's an older woman at this point, and she is traveling back to Triple Falls because she's got some
Mm-hmm.
unfinished business. And she has ended
Triple
her
fall.
engagement.
Triple Falls is actually based off of Hendersonville, North Carolina. So hashtag call it out for my North Carolina peoples if y'all are in here or if you're watching the rewatch. You know, we love you. We support you. We love those apples, especially in the fall. Give me that honey crust any day. And the apple cider donuts. Best in the world.
Okay, that does sound pretty good. The apple cinnamon don't. Well, I mean, I'm not big on cinnamon.
Apple cider donuts.
I don't care. I'd eat the fuck out of some apples though. Just
oh
I
yeah,
love
honey. Go to Skytop Orchard in the fall.
We may have to like plan a pilgrimage to the city that inspired this book because this book has an insane following. Like there are people that know what this is purely based on quotes from the book. Like the one that you said, pup, like, are you catching feelings for me, pup? Like everybody knows that's Sean.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
This is what is fantastic about this book series. It's world renowned and a phenomenon, but yet it's still like a freaking secret. Like there are like on her Facebook group that I'm in, there are people that have come together and started chapters of Ravenhood, like actual like meetup groups and everything like that. And of course, your girl's in the Carolina chapter, baby. Well, what?
I don't think there's one in Tennessee. I'm scared to look because.
Well, yeah, because it's Facebook.
Well, Facebook scares me, but also people in Tennessee scare the shit out of me.
But think about this, though. If you were able to meet up with like-minded people who are also fans of the book,
JL,
could be adventures.
I don't play well with others. I don't play well with. See, this is what's funny. She's team Dom. I'm team Sean. But our personalities are swapped. I'm very much Dominic, and she's very much Sean. She would be the one that would even Dom out, and I would be the one that irritated the living piss out of Sean. He would be the poor man would be getting the short end of the stick. So, like, apologies, Sean. I love you, and I'll cook for you and do whatever else you ask me to. But I'm gonna get on your fucking nerves some. So.
Get you out on a hike.
Oh, fuck no, please. Like I love Sean. That's the one thing.
Get you out on a hike on the falls, though?
No. My busted ass fucking knees walking that goddamn far. Fuck that. There ain't no.
But if you got the same treatment as Cecilia did, though?
No. He'd have to bring it up a step. Like, you better put more on the table if you expect me to fucking walk in pain for miles. You better be able to, like, I better leave with some bruises. And not just from falling down repeatedly, because that would happen. I am the worst person to hike with. I'm an ex-smoker. I'm overweight. And my knees are shot. Like, I have like 2 torn ACLs in each knee. No meniscus left. There's no cushion. So it's just like bone on bone. So
Ew.
like after about like 2 miles, I'm done. I'm done. Unless you properly motivate me.
I barely survived the 10-mile hike I did on our vacation that we had recently.
Never in a million fucking years. If I got my knees fixed, fuck yeah, I'd go on a hike. I'd go on a 7-mile hike, 6-mile hike. I prefer horseback riding, but maybe that's what we could do. That's outdoors. Sean could like kind of like keep it chill on the nature walks and do horseback riding. See,
just make sure he's careful with his balls.
Damn, you just went there.
Well, it's true. Like it's something you have to be very cautious of. This is coming from someone who actually used to be a horseback rider and everything. So
I would warn him. I would warn him and be like, "Look, you might want to.
You might want to pack him a cup."
God. This is why men are scared to go horseback riding, because they're just like, it's gonna hurt. And it's like, not really. There's a
As
reason why
long as you're
women like
doing it the
horseback
right
riding.
way.
Yeah, just like everything in life. As long as you're doing it the right way, it's not gonna hurt.
Yes. So we open up to the first book where we were saying before, Cecilia is coming back to Triple Falls after being gone for a long period of time. And she flashes back to her summer at 19 years old, which, after doing some configuration and some math via the Facebook group that I'm in, as well as from the chapters, would set the book in 2014, the summer of 2014,
Damn.
as far as the years go and progression wise, because that would make her 19, and then a year after that would be 2015, which would take place in where the bad shit happens in Exodus. And then it's another 6 years after that when she makes the return. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2022-ish would be when she makes her return to Triple Falls. So picture it. Triple Falls, North Carolina, 2014. Yes, I know I won Sophia. I am not regretting it.
If I was in Triple Falls in 2014, there would be no book, because I would have found Sean Roberts and locked that shit down so hard, so fast.
Yeah.
Like JL got me. Like, as soon as I started reading, I had to go find one. So it's a little raven's wing, and I wanted a black
I'm
one.
still waiting to get mine because I want to get just the right one. But I'm also thinking, instead of going and getting the necklace, I might go and get my wings tattooed.
I like the idea of the tattoo. I'm not gonna lie. I've looked at so many Ravens tattoos and just been like, hmm. But there was one moment where I text messaged JL. I was out at the store. I was like at Walmart waiting in line to return something, and I just happened to look over, and there's a dude. I shit you not, with a fucking Raven tattoo. Like, there's no mistaking it on his forearm, and I was just like, send it to JL. I was like, JL, check this out. She's like, they're everywhere. I was like, no. But I mean, so like Cecilia's coming back to Triple Falls because she's in essence looking to kind of like face her, not, I wouldn't say demons, but she's definitely looking at some ghosts that she's left behind.
She's got a few skeletons in her closet she's got to make peace with and move forward with, and there's some trauma and some shit that she's got to take care of, because
I will
she
say,
basically left her fiance not long before they were supposed to get married because she is sick with hopeless romanticism.
yeah.
But then again, how many of us aren't sick with hopeless romanticism?
I've been living, it's a chronic disease for me. But so like the quote for that is, I never told my fiance how I'd bloodlet my heart. It starved it until it had no choice but to beat in a distinct rhythm that only matched the thrum of one other. In doing so, I sabotaged my chances of recognizing and accepting the kind of love that heals rather than hurts. The only love I've ever known or craved is the kind that keeps me sick. Sick with longing, sick with lust, sick with need, sick with grief, the distorted kind that leaves scars in jaded hearts. I personally am okay with her having left Colin, the fiance, which, I mean, we'll go more in depth in on the show that we do on Exodus, but I do not like Colin. He's a bit of a dick.
Personally, I feel he got the best serve in Exodus. He really got the best serve in Exodus. But then again, that's the next show that we talk about Exodus. Yeah. I'm not gonna go and do any hashtag no dick. You know I'm right.
I just wish, like, so we leave Colin, we head back to Triple Falls. We know and learn about her father and the shitty father that he is, and how she's not been back here since she was, I think, like 15, it says.
The
Because
last summer that she had spent before the start of the book, like where the book goes into her, where she's 19, was she was 15, and then after that she stopped going.
yeah, because it was pretty much like he's never there. And through almost the entirety of the book, he's not there. Like he's
He's
there.
really not. He spends more time in Charlotte than he actually does in Triple Falls, where his plant and everything related to his work is. His home offices and everything, I think, are in Charlotte, but like
No,
where the actual
yeah,
work and
you're right.
everything gets done at is in
Triple
Triple
Falls.
Falls.
Like, yeah, I think this was his first factory that he ever created or whatever was in Triple Falls.
That's
And
correct.
they used to do chemical work, which will but then now they started making like electronic components like calculators and things. So he wants
Some kind
Cecilia.
of microchipping thingamajigger to go into techie. They've gotten into the tech business because it makes more money.
Well, that and there's a lot less hassle from the EPA.
And so, if you think about it in the aspect of the Robin Hood story, he's more.
Sheriff Nottingham or Prince John?
I think he's kind of a mix.
I was gonna say he kind of feels like a little bit of both characters. Like he
I
kind of
feel like the route she was going with his character is mixing the two of them with the wealth that is Prince John, but that air of having control and power, like Sheriff Nottingham.
yeah, like I don't.
Sorry, I just remembered something. Rest in peace, Alan Rickman.
Oh
You,
God,
9 o'clock. You, 9:15. Bring a friend.
Did you know that that line that was not an original line to that script? Did you know
I
that?
know. He improved it.
No. He took the script to two script writers that he knew. The first one kind of alterated it a little bit, and then he handed it off to like an award-winning Broadway, film writer, like famous for fixing script, and she just wrote out to the side the exact line. She's like, "Do that." And he said he did that, and everybody on set was just like, and that's how he knew it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, that's brilliant. Like, I mean, nobody, like, you can't. Then the only other line in that entire film that anybody like remembers with Alan Rickman is literally, "I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon." Why a
My favorite line
spoon?
to use when I'm angry at somebody.
Why a spoon, cousin? Because it's dull. You twit, it'll hurt more.
Anyway,
Yeah, let's get back to what we were actually talking about.
going off of our little side quest there. So yeah, definitely gives the combined vibe of Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham. The landmass of which the house is on. Oh my god, it is incredible.
Like I could not imagine walking into a house like that. Like I've seen houses like that, like we all pass by them and they look like,
Oh, I found the pictures of the house that is actually the inspiration for Cecilia's house.
wow, really?
It was on the Facebook group. I'll send them to you later. Cause
Okay.
girl, it's gorgeous. And it's
All I was
actually on
doing was
sale
like,
right now. It's on sale for I think 1.2 million.
oh, just 1.2.
It's I think it was circa 1910.
Yeah. We should mention that Kate Stewart has now become like a syndicated author, I guess is the best way to put it. She has all of her work now in Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, and pretty much anywhere on a shelf that you can find it. Which
She's been
whenever
picked up by a traditional publishing company now. So she was originally just self-published, but with the phenomenon and growth of this book series, she has now done what very few authors are able to do, which is go and be traded from indie to traditional publishing. Not saying that indies can't do it, because we all know they can, but it is an incredible feat to have built up that much hype and desire for a traditional company to want your books in with them.
well, I mean, and like what let me ask you this, because JL, like I said, she's the one that turned me on to this book series. But my main question would be, so there's 3 books in this series, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
the legacy series, which she's working on 2 books for Tyler. She's already put one out for pre-order, so go check either her website or Amazon for that, and go check Tyler out because Tyler's a sweetie. We love Tyler.
Tyler is mentioned in throughout the series. He's basically like our
He's like the
he's not
brother I always wanted.
he's like the combined character for him is like Little John and the Friar Tuck.
I could see it. Who would? Well, wait a minute. Who would Sean? Well, would Sean be Little John, or would I think Dominic's? I think we all know that Dominic's Will Scarlet. Let's be real.
Which then makes you know who being the Robin Hood.
Okay, so Sean would be Robin Hood. Dominic
No,
would be.
no.
Oh, you're talking about. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. There is no discovery up until like the end, but there's not a name given. But there's a mysterious man that you will come across in book 2 in more ways than you. I don't
Plan
like.
to.
I don't like Tobias.
You'll come to know him in the first book as the Frenchman.
Yeah. Like everybody's warned about, like the wolf. Don't let the wolf get scent of Cecilia. So
Yeah, and France isn't gonna like this.
yeah. I will say I was really at first whenever I started reading it and started hearing about like the French accent and all of like the town gossip surrounding these guys, I was like, so basically these guys are like working their ass off, running everywhere, doing everything they can to help this community, and people are just shit talking them behind their backs.
Well, they have to. If you think about it, if you want the secret to stay secret and you want to, essentially be able to still, like, not rat them out and everything, you can't show gratitude to the people that are doing that. But, out in public, like, face front, you have to, treat it as if it was, they are truly outsiders and, just kind of pass them.
I would say like the cars in this book are incredible. I did so much research on the cars that
I want Tyler's truck and Dom's car.
I want Dom's car, but I also want the Nova. The Nova looks like it would be a beast. Like, don't get me wrong, the Camaro is like, and this is the thing. This is also a thing. I don't know if your Facebook group came up with this or not, but it is not said what make and model that. Well, I mean, it's the Camaro. It's a black Camaro, but it's not given the time period. Like, you can't find like 1970 Camaro, 1980 Camaro. But since both Sean's car and Tyler's cars are based in the 1960s, and this was meant to be like a grouping of vehicles that they had, and then it got distributed, I'm fairly confident to say that I think Dominic's car would be the 1967 Camaro. Because if
you look at the Legos for the Camaro, that's the one that most people go off of for their shelf display. The black Camaro for the Lego set there, because they have the classic cars versions. You can actually go ahead and look it up while I'm thinking about it, because I can't remember what year that one is. But if you look up Lego Camaro, it'll actually pop up, and it should tell you what make and model for that one.
Oh my god.
I'm
There's
making
so
her
many.
go and look up things, people. I do not apologize, because it'll make
Okay,
sense when she
so
goes at it.
this one, 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. I don't think that looks right. I don't think that looks right. Like I don't necessarily like the look of it. Like here, I'm gonna put it up. I'll share screen and show everybody what we're looking at. Do. Share
Because that's the
screen.
most commonly found one that I've
Nope.
seen where people are doing like their shelf
Close.
previews. Huh?
That was close. I almost brought something up on the screen that I do not want on the screen.
Oh, well, way to get a struck there.
Where did it go? It was just there.
Uh, click continue.
Sharing this. I did. Oh, continue. Dismiss. Damaged car about Colorado. So this is the car that she's referencing. I personally, I don't like that one. Like I just don't. It doesn't look like Dominic to me. Like the 1967. Let me show you what the 1967 shows like, because I really went through trying to find like something, because that irritated me to no end. I was just like, how do we have everybody else's make and model of this car but Dominic's?
Sean's
I was
the
like,
not Sean, because Dominic's the mystery.
I know, but still,
I can't remember if they're. I
dude
can't
should
remember if
have.
they said what year it was in One Last Rainy Day or not. I'll have to go back and find out.
See, that's what I'm looking at.
That's pretty similar, though. It is pretty similar in body style. Yeah,
I mean,
it's similar.
she looks like something, but there's the SS series and then there's the regular. So I think that, like, especially with engine size, body style changes. So with the
Yeah, you have that to think
1967,
about too.
yeah, you could have you've like so you've got the custom 1967 Camaro that looks kind of like that. So that's a custom one. And then there is the
We got to remember too, they also do racing and everything like that, so they are going to be making them look a little bit different, so that way they can, be able to go faster and do these races.
yeah, like they're like I really do think like this there I mean it looks right. It looks until Kate Stewart tells us different, like this is what I image. Because I mean it looks like it would fit. It looks like something that Dominic would fucking run right off the road. Like look at that. I mean, yes, it's red. It's not black. Well, there is a black one. That's a pretty car. But the only thing I don't like about it, this one is like the one that you were showing. The only thing I don't like about it is the cloth top. I don't think he would rock a cloth top.
Well, if I remember correctly, it was like it wasn't like a convertible.
It was or wasn't?
It was.
I don't like soft tops. There we go. There's that says Dominic to me. I mean, look how pretty it is. It's so shiny. That just looks like him. That looks like something like if he was even going to trick it out for today, that's what he would have. You can't look at that car and tell me Dominic wouldn't be driving that fucker.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's pretty. Like that, just that shot. That shot of that car is iconic. Like it's just like you can't walk through a parking lot and see that and not be like, "Ooh, who's driving that thing?" But I mean, I do love the fact that they all have muscle cars, and they specifically have these muscle cars and only drive them during one instance, which is a race. And that was the race. I feel like you learn a little bit about the guys from Sean bringing Cecilia into the party, which is like the first thing that he catches eyes, but we find out later that was planned.
Those steel eyes. Those steel eyes.
Not Sean. Sean's got baby blues.
No, I'm talking about Dom's.
Oh, well, like Sean brings her to the thing, and of course that's where the classic line, like you catching feelings for me, pup. Like it's sweet. I could see it getting annoying though. The pup part really fast. But I wouldn't care. I'd just be like,
Sorry,
yeah,
y'all.
baby.
Sorry, y'all got distracted. Woo!
Alrighty, bands. But I like the fact that she also introduces like Layla and gives Cecilia kind of like almost a compatriot in arms, because Layla kind of keeps her sane in a lot of ways at times. Like she goes to her for advice, goes to her with confidence and things that like she knows she's not supposed to be talking about, but because Layla's already in, it's kind of a safe space for her. And I thought that was kind of a brilliant choice, because later on in the book you run into somebody that is definitely not trustworthy and I don't like, and this woman was after Sean in the hardest way. And Cecilia right off
Wait,
the
which
bat
one
was
was
like,
that one again?
at the meetup. I think, isn't her name Tessa? Nope, that's the chick from Vivica.
Because I'm trying to go through in my head of One Last Rainy Day too. I think it was no, because Tessa was later on.
I don't know. I basically it was a woman. It was a woman at one of the
Meetup parties.
Yeah.
The first initial meetup party.
Yeah. And she she's all about like, so who are you here with? Because she rocks up with Dom. And she's just like, yeah, he's off limits too. Back off. And it was just like, it was nice to see a little 19-year-old just be like, yeah, they're both mine. That's my dick. Back off. But there are so many moments. Let's not deny this book is spicy. And
Chapter 25, can I get a hallelujah, amen?
One of the best chapters I've fucking ever read. JL at one point in time she told me about chapter 25 and I had done a bad thing.
Yes, she broke the cardinal rule.
I skipped ahead.
After I told her, I don't know how many times, not to.
I couldn't help it. Sometimes you just need some spice. But
the waterfall didn't hold you over enough?
No. The fuck? The waterfall never would have held me over. That man would have been like, we would have been there till dark. Like, let's just clear this up. It is not a secret on the show or anywhere else on social media. I have one of the highest sex drives a woman could possibly have. If I got my hands on any of these men, they would not be walking straight for a month. I would ride them so hard until their heads rolled back and their eyes fluttered and they begged for more. Like, that's just true. Historically. And yet I'm
No, but chap, I feel like Kate's got something with the number 25.
I do too. That would be something to like kind of look in, because it does seem like that number does kind of like pop up every now and then. But so I have a question. What out of, because you've read this book now, what, twice?
Probably more than that.
Okay. So what's your favorite moment in the book? And what is your favorite quote? 'cause I know that's hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'm sorry. But I
You
mean,
had to do that to me. Oh God.
like, I'll go ahead and say mine. Like,
I'm gonna say my favorite scene. My favorite scene definitely had to have been. I'm gonna honestly say the scene with her and Sean when they were dancing together at the Apple Festival.
it hurts.
That was my favorite scene.
Like, that's
And
a good one. That's a good one. Like, that was so bittersweet and absolutely, like, just nostalgic. Like, it was one of the most nostalgic looking things because it kind of reminded me of, like, that image from, like, World War II where you see in Times Square the sailor with the nurse bent back kissing her. That's what it kind of felt like that. It was not meant to, like, depict that, but it kind of sort of, like, made me think about that.
my next favorite scene would be when she's trying to do something special for Dom's birthday, and she goes and burns the cake and the bacon, and the banner falls all over the place, and it just becomes a disaster because it knocks over the runny eggs, and it's just like the coffee's the only thing that survived. And the poor dog's wearing a little birthday hat with it's under his snout, like chin. It's like, wow, you suck.
Like, I love, okay, so my line is, where she's talking about what, what do you like and what's your philosophy on things, and he starts talking about, like eggs runny, coffee black, beer cold, music,
Cars.
yeah, cars fast. But there is a moment where he tells Cecilia, I know what I have. I know her. I know what I have, and I know what I have in my arms, and I know her value. And that was one of the scenes that hit me really fucking hard because it was it's one of the most truthful moments that you could have with a partner. It's literally like, I know what I have. I'm not worried about you going anywhere because I know I have you. I don't need to keep wooing you. You're here. But I mean, it was just kind of it was really beautiful, that particular scene. I will say my favorite kind of, like, that's my favorite quote, but also my favorite scene. The only other scene, it's a naughty one. The only other
Of
scene,
course you're gonna say that.
I know I am, but it's not the one that you think it is. I'll tell you that much. Which scene do you think I'm talking about? It's a naughty one. Which one do you think it is?
I'm gonna say the Camaro ride.
Nope. Actually, no.
Really?
No. That's not it.
Because I had thought I was gonna go with the entirety of chapter 25, and I was like, no, that's too obvious.
No, it's not that one. The scene that I absolutely love the most is where it's the first kind of like real, like, tug and pull situation with Cecilia and Dominic, where he comes in and he kind of crowds her and, like, gets her up against the cabinets, and then, like, her hand moves and he lets go after a few minutes and she doesn't even realize that she's still continuing. And then Sean shows up and she's just like, Dominic turns around and goes, "Yeah, your woman likes to rub my dick." Sean's just like, "I'm going upstairs."
Oh God! And
Not
the
about it.
whole motherfucker thing, like him telling her that it's actually motherfucker. I was like, yes.
But like another thing is that was hilarious. Like I love how she wrote classic kind of like almost guy girl prank moments, or like classic kind of like when you get into a community or you get into like a friendship group or something, you guys throw shit at each other, you pick at each other, you know the weak spots. And
Mhm.
like Dominic just knows everybody's fucking weak spot. So for someone to
He's
finally get one
supposed
over on
to.
him,
I
yeah.
mean, he's an MIT freaking graduate, for crying out loud. He's gonna know people's weak spots.
But I mean, I love, and by the way, I love that like almost all of these guys have some sort of like specialized skill. Like, let's be real, like Tyler's a Marine, Dom is a hacker, and Sean gets people to talk really quickly. Like he has
He's
that
got
kind of
the charm and the
personality.
charisma and everything
Yeah.
about him. He's got that golden boy, like, you know, that swagger of, yeah, come on, you can tell me anything.
I'll be your best friend. But yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, the line is on like page 126. Oh god. Why are you acting this way? I've done nothing to you. Maybe I just don't like you. Well, then maybe I just won't give a fuck. He leans in and grips my chin hard. But you do. I rip my
Yep.
I rip my face out of his hold just as the door slams. I'm shaking from head to toe when Sean rounds the corner. One look at my face wipes his greeting smile away. Your girl just rubbed it on my dick, Dominic says as he report as if
Oh
he's
God.
reporting.
You remember when the first time that she walked out and he was just stark naked and he was taking care of business and she just was like ogling him when she was trying to just go to the bathroom.
She was just like, I'm sorry, and just walks away. I would have been like, I'm gonna stay here for just a little while longer, keep going. But I mean, it's the thing with Sean is like Sean setting his bag down. Sean curses and holds up a finger, muting my defense before following Dominic up the stairs. Perplexed, I stand in the kitchen while my carefully planned apology dinner goes up in flames. Like, but but so that's a funny moment. I enjoy that moment because it's real, it's authentic. People would do
Mm-hmm.
that. But like the scene that happens afterward is really beautiful because it's still like a very real moment. Like Sean and her kind of start this bickering bullshit where like Tyler's gonna, or not Tyler, but Dominic's gonna keep doing his shit. He's gonna keep pushing your buttons. You know, you need to step up and fucking deal with this, or he's gonna keep doing it. Like you have to prove to him that you can take the hit and then give it right back to him. And
Yeah, if you can't
she
take the heat, get out of the damn kitchen.
she tries. You got to give the girl credit. She did try. But
Mm-hmm.
like another thing, the fact that Sean has a poodle for a dog, I was just like,
Yes, I know.
I, I, I like, I have so many
Brandy,
questions. I have so many questions. But
I
I was,
love that little Brandy baby.
I don't like poodles.
But she's adorable.
We'd have to rehome if I was going to be with Sean. We'd have to rehome. I'm sorry.
That's like rehoming your favorite little babe drag.
I'm sorry. Like I can't. Like I worked as a groomer at one point in life, and I have bathed and blow dried enough poodles to be like, fuck this shit forever. Like no, you couldn't pay me any amount of money.
Even if it
Like
was like a poodle chihuahua mix. And they stayed super tiny forever.
no, I'm regretful of the dog I have. Still is fucking psycho. But I mean, I love that moment after that because like it's her
It's
basically,
human.
yeah, she's kind of like, he's like, well, make your fucking mind up. What are you gonna do? And she walks down and she tosses the cake and just tosses it right on top of Dominic. And unfortunately, poor Tyler was sitting in the vicinity, so collateral damage was probably happening.
Tyler's just got the best timing. Like he really does. And I always said he deserved to get credit where credit was due because his story with him and Delphine is Dominic's aunt.
Mm-hmm.
So she's related to them by his mother's side of the family, if I
I believe
remember.
so, yeah.
No, wait.
Yeah,
Was
I
his
think it was
dad?
his mom.
I think no, it was his dad.
You
Because
sure?
she was already there by that time, if I remember
I think
correctly.
it's his mom. I think it was his mom. Well, yeah, his mom.
Well, she's related to the Kings and whatnot, and she's going through a bunch of shit. She's a she's going through some chemo and some alcohol issues, which, giving credit where credit is due, I love just how much that she's really humanizing and making it relatable for her readers to be like, okay, yeah, I really connect with these characters. Like, it feels like I'm spending time with with my actual friends, with my family. I feel like this book series alone has built such an amazing community of people that are like-minded, and it's beautifully done to the way where, like I was saying before, it's still to this day a worldwide phenomenon, but still a best kept secret.
Because it's so relatable. I mean, like, even the fights between the guys, the bickering between them, the shit talking at the shop, it's organic. It just flows naturally. Like, it's very I have we have she has to be given an enormous amount of credit for being able to actually fucking do that, because writing dynamics within a male specific friend group, especially a tight knit male friend group, is a
Mm-hmm.
very different world than other just like regular guy friends. Guy friends that are basically fucking brothers, like, they will fucking it's literally like that scene from The Town between Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner, where he's like, I need your help with something. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it again, and we're gonna hurt some people. And Jeremy's just like, whose car are we taking? That's Sean and Dominic, or Sean and Tyler, or Sean and Jeremy, or
Or if
Dominic,
you
all of
want
them.
to, go and take it back, I think she even got some of the inspiration for it from the original Fast and Furious film.
Hey, I don't have friends. I have family. But I mean, like, the argument between Sean, there are two arguments that happen in this book between Sean and Cecilia. The first one is kind of like that tiff that you have at the beginning, like within the honeymoon period. There are tiffs, not like fights, but they're tiffs where you're just kind of like testing each other's boundaries. And the first one where like she smacks him with the cake and dumps it on Dom's head and just fucks off. Like, I think that is a very kind of classic, like, he loves her and he knows everything's going to be fine, so he's not chasing her. However, when it happens again, the most heart-wrenching moment in this book at one point in time was where Sean was like, you know, yeah, I mean, break up. He eyes me from where he stands, his tone unforgiving. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was angry. Doesn't matter. Anger is an excuse. I can't have someone around me who doesn't believe in me and what I'm doing. It was a gamble with you, and it's clear to me now that you're too young. And, like, she doesn't even make it out the door before he grabs her and says, I'm sorry. Shit, I'm sorry. He says softly, I hate the idea of waking up and not hearing about your dreams in the morning. Hey, baby, please stop crying. You're killing me. You mean so much to me, more than I ever thought possible, so much more. And it, it's literally like one of the, it's one of the moments where you see Sean being not careful with how he's meant to be around Cecilia. That's just Sean being Sean. And you see that with Dominic on their date night. Like, that's out of characteristic for Dom. Dude got dressed up, took care of his car, drove up, opened the door for her. Like,
Oh, just you wait till you get to One Last Rainy Day. Oh my God.
let's just get this out of the way, all right? Like, this is a thing that happens in the next book, but just be aware, because somebody didn't tell me to be aware, but there is going to be emotional damage on so many fucking levels. Like,
There's emotional damage in book 1 too.
Yes, I know, but nowhere near as book 2. It took me 2 weeks to get over that part, and I still cry when it rains. And it rained for months after I finished that chapter, and I was just like, JL, why? Like,
I warned you. I did warn you. I just wasn't going to tell you explicitly what happened because you had to experience it organically like I did.
Oh, it fucking gutted me. Like, I've recently experienced Liam's death in Fourth Wing. Dom's is still worse. Dom's it just fucking
spoilers to the people in the back. This is a spoiler for Exodus book 2.
It's in the thing. I just scrolling along the bottom, and I said it in the TikTok this morning.
I know. I was just making people aware that this is right now where you're gonna want to bounce out.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to find. Okay, so there's a moment where we see Dom coming
Miami.
in. Yeah. Well, no, Dom's coming in with Cecilia. Sean is the one that takes over, and he says, we gotta go right now. And she's like, what's going on? And he goes, somebody couldn't keep a secret. And like, shit just goes fucking sideways. They disappear, and Sean Sean has his moment with her, and then Dom has a moment with her, and she's pissed. Granted, like, she got a right to be fucking pissed, but like, Dom's this thing, it fucking kills me. So he grips my head and slams his mouth over mine, and I fight against his kiss, my mouth opening to object as he slips his tongue in. Sparks ignite in my chest as he deepens it to the point I can't think past our night on the hood of his car, or the day at the lake, or any other day of life.
Oh yeah.
I rip at his hair, at his chest, his neck, as he brands me with his mouth and the violent thrash of his tongue. My emotions go from anger to utter devastation as he pushes every feeling I'm fighting to the surface. He pulls away and presses a soft kiss to my mouth. I'm sorry. That's the only real thing I can give you. And she's crying, and she's like, why? We were trying to make a point, and we fucking failed miserably. And like, he says after, like, she's like, I could never trust you again. He says, he tracks the tears sliding down my cheek. I have to let you go for now, he grimaces. And for the first time since that night we spent alone, his emotions shine through. But I don't fucking want to. And she's like, stay the fuck away from me. And he's like, I don't have a choice, but everything I do now, it's for you. Like, that hurt.
I didn't even see myself making it to 30.
Like, yeah, that fucking cuts. That cuts so deep. But I mean, it's these books are written, they are fictional, but there are moments that were so applicable to relationships, to crushes, to even people I just interacted with. Like, for fuck's sake, I dated somebody when I was 16 with the last name Roberts. My last name is Alford. It is one letter away. Hi, Claire. It's one letter away from being Alfred.
Hi, Square.
but like the moments in the book feel real. And whenever this is one of those rare books when you read it, you become invested very quickly in the characters. Like
Rachel, how many times have I told you that that book lives rent free in my head and will not
numerous
stop?
times, numerous times. And I can see why, because I still think about these characters. Like I will say this, and it's probably not going to be a popular opinion.
Oh, God.
I particularly do not necessarily like Cecilia that much. I think Cecilia was so intent on these men treating her a certain way, but she never gave them the benefit of the doubt. She never gave them the fact that they're men. They're human. They're weak. It was like everything shocked her, everything made her mad, and the fact that she had to make any sort of adjustment was almost astronomical at a time, which I get is because of her
I'm
age.
I'm not gonna disagree with you on that, because I mean, she did kind of come off as a whiny bitch,
Well, I
especially
mean,
when it came to, like, where she
even
wasn't included on parts of the secret and everything like that, and feeling like she's, I've proved myself enough. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You may think you have, but you have not. Not yet, madam. Sit your ass down.
like it's the moment where Sean kind of confesses everything, and it's kind of, that was one of the moments that hurt the worst. Like, but he doesn't even let her get in the door before, like he just automatically automatically begs, he just kisses her just right as soon as she's in. Like, she's sitting there reminiscing about their time together, and then he's just like, "Baby, please look at me. Baby, please look at me." And he's like, "Cecilia, you are the secret. This confession demands my attention." And I finally look up. He looks destroyed, his complexion gaunt, dark circles prominent beneath his eyes. I've never seen him so distraught. Empathy wins the war with my silent tongue. I love this man, even if falling for him was a mistake. He's, he steps forward and captures my face in his hands. We didn't mean it. You have to know that. You know a lot more than you think you do, but the first thing you need to know is that it was a knee jerk decision to bring you in the day we met. I just fucking couldn't. God, the moment I laid eyes on you. Like, he he loves her. You can hear it in the way the voice, like the way he says things. Like,
Oh yeah, especially. Okay, I know, I know, I know, I know. What he did was downright awful. What he did was downright inexcusable. But I have to give credit where credit was due. And I will say he did the voices of the characters very well. That is the only time I'm going to say that Joe
mm-mm,
Harden.
we're not saying that name. No, no,
Okay,
no.
look. Before everything came out, I was all for him. But once everything came out into the open, nah.
All
Can't
right,
stand for it.
let's just hit this head on. There was a controversy around this person, and he was revealed to have done very, very, very bad things. And me personally, being a survivor of SA, I stand with the victims. I don't make victims prove themselves.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, no, I'm in full
and
agreement
and
with you
and
there.
yeah, JL does that. She feels that way as well. But just to be frank and out there, because I don't have a fucking filter. Let's just say it. He is a morally reprehensible man, and regardless of any of the past accolades that he may have accrued reading and narrating books, it doesn't, like, because you have a good voice doesn't excuse you from using a position of power to harm others.
Oh no,
So,
absolutely.
like, yes, he, like JL said, he did narrate the books. He has a memorable voice. However, I disregard that man entirely. And I understand that Kate came out and made her own statement about this, and she's trying to figure out what to do. Like, from what I understood in her statement when I read it, was that, she understands that people have gotten used to that voice being the voice of these characters, and that it will be very difficult to replace, but that at some point in time, there will be a change. And I respect her for that. Like,
Exactly.
a lot of people have given this woman crap over some stuff and in the past, and I don't know more about that and I don't care. But specifically, well, I mean, I care that, some people were upset and hurt, but I think she did the right thing with what she did. And
She
apologize.
did it with grace, finesse, and with
Honesty.
the mind frame of being, you know,
Like,
connecting
she
still with those
listened.
people.
She listened. She didn't shut them out. She didn't, like, she was like, I fucked up. Let me make it right. But I I can see where having such a popular book that was underground, essentially, it's kind of very much like, like you said, it's like a fan favorite, but it's also like a very well kept secret. Having an author have to contend with losing readership at that level when she's still technically an indie, a popular and very well known and very well beloved indie, but still, that is something that can end a fucking writing career so fast. And
Incredibly quickly.
she had no control over it. So I think that what she's doing is the best that she can for her characters, for her readers, and for herself. I think she's being responsible and open-minded about it. And as far as I'm concerned, Joe Arden can go eat a dick.
Snaps.
Like, I'm sorry. Morally reprehensible man. He's like Donald Trump. If Donald Trump had a voice that could sound, I will say this. Okay, I'm gonna be the odd man out. I didn't like his voice. I've listened to the audiobook of this and it was interesting. Uh However, I also listened to another book and it gave me nightmares for 2 weeks because of the way his voice sounded. And after that, I was like, I'm good. I'll deal with the physical copy. Because, like, let's do, okay, so we have, losing my voice. We have 3 main characters that we deal with. We have Cecilia, Sean, and Dominic. Say we're going to throw Tyler and Jeremy in there. So you've got all of those: Tyler, Dominic, Sean, Jeremy, and Cecilia. What would your fan casts be for Dawn? Because you know what mine is.
Oh, girl, 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 girl. Mm. For the time being, because I can't remember the newest person that I've possibly considered for it, I'm going to stick with my guns on Dacre Montgomery. And if you're not familiar with who Dacre Montgomery is, y'all might hate on me a little bit because he was Billy in Stranger Things. And Billy was kind of like the bad guy, essentially, in season 2. And he was then also being manipulated in season 3 by the Mind Flayer. I think if I remember correctly, that's what it was. That was manipulating him and making him do all the bad shit. Which kind of gave him a bit of a redemptive arc in that season, but he was all around, like characters wise of Billy was very much bad boy, like all the moms were wanting him and that kind of vibe. But if you take away the mullet, you have to take away the mullet. You have to take away the mullet. But like with the open shirt, the jeans, the biker boots, the sharp like blue gray eyes, and maybe make the hair a bit darker. Like, oh, he was just perfect for Dom. For Sean, for me, you're gonna laugh at me.
Why would I laugh at you? Hit me.
Kendall from Big Time Rush.
No idea who that is.
Look him up. No,
Kendall?
not Kendall. Not Kendall. Not Kendall. Not Kendall. Wait, was it? Yeah. No. Shoot. Hang on. Pause break.
She's like, I'm reworking it on the fly. Reworking it on the fly.
Hang on. Davina Claire was no. That's not the action. Dadgummit. I'm bad with names. I remember characters, but you remember Davina from originals. The little witchling that was gonna get sacrificed at the fall ritual thing in the first season.
I haven't watched the originals.
Oh, you suck.
Damn, I'm being shamed hard. Like, there was an actor, like he's much too old. He's much too old to play the character now. But I told JL that he would have been my pick. So, I can't even remember his name. Oh no. Ah, crap. There he is.
It's a Kendall Schmidt is his name. That's who I would have casted as Sean.
See, I always saw Sean as trying to find a good picture of him. Which I mean shouldn't be hard to do because the man is fucking gorgeous. But my mom, so I need to preface this. My mom watches a lot of fucking soap operas. Okay.
Danielle Campbell was the name of the actress that played for Cecilia.
That's who I would see as Sean.
Who's that?
He played JT from Young and the Restless.
I can see him for like older Sean.
Like homeboy was fucking hot. Now, like Tyler, you're not gonna like this either. You're not gonna like it either,
bro. You mess with the Marine.
Like, I'm so losing my voice. Like, where is he? I need a better picture. Not him. Not
oh! I forgot about him. Hi, Tobias.
I'm sorry.
You cannot tell me that I'm wrong. You cannot tell me I'm wrong.
We ought to start taking bets. We ought to start taking bets on if I'm going to change my mind. That guy.
Who's that?
He's on a soap opera, but he's gorgeous. Like, don't forget, like, big name actors caught their shit on like fucking soap operas. But that man is fucking glorious looking. Like, just like at one point in time, I would have said the guy that played fucking Adam from Young and the Restless. Now, I will say this: you want to talk about you're talking about Tobias. We see Tobias in two very different ways. Two very, very vastly different ways. Like you see Tobias as a little bit more like gruff, and I see him as an ass. So this is who I would cast as Tobias.
Well, see, here's the thing about that actor, that gruff-looking actor. He cleans up nicely when he needs to.
Yeah, he does. Plus, he's got that like you have to give credit where credit's due. Some of these guys, because you have to be so expressive in the realm of content that they make. You have to be able to convey things at times with just your eyes or just an expression because you don't have
Mm.
dialogue. So you've got to kind of like learn your face in a way, I guess is the best way to put it. But the fact that like he can pull on the sweet, endearing, heart-wrenching kind of like he can pull that out and make it work and make it believable. But then he can turn on his fucking heel and be the most heinous asshole possible. Like it's a talent.
Mhm.
So like that's who
If you've ever watched the new version of Dallas, the one that I pointed out, that I could see for Tobias, he's kind of got that flip-floppy skill because he's the son of J.R. Ewing.
I just
He's John Ross Jr.
like how these men are not exactly old. So I mean, the way I look at him is like Dominic. I've always said this. My take on Dominic, the person I would pick hands down, still, even today, was Taylor Kitsch. Like
Oh, that's a good one.
that's what I see in my head whenever I visualize Dominic is I see Taylor because his character from like and he's going to be if he ever sees this on the internet he'll be really mad because he doesn't like talking about that film. But from The Covenant, his character Poe
Oh yeah.
is
Mhm.
basically Dominic. Like take the
Mhm.
motorcycle out and replace it with a fucking car. That's Dominic. Like
Yeah. Yep.
because
I have to give you credit on that one.
and the main reason I think that is not just the aesthetic. The main reason I think that is because there's a part in that movie where his girl is like deathly ill in the hospital. Problems. He, without a fucking second thought, gets on his bike, is flying down the fucking road. Of course, Sebastian Stan, just, with the whole thing, because we love Sebastian. But that would be another good person to play Tobias.
Mm,
Oh, don't even. That man could play a fucking villain better than anybody you know.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but I feel like for this series, I feel like he's one of the ones that would be considered overplayed and overused.
I could see that. I could see that. But like Taylor's portrayal of Poe, like he smashed onto the fucking asphalt. And dude is walking towards him and he knows like this is gonna hurt. But he's still like, if you fucking touch her, I'll kill you. And it's just like, that's Dominic. That's Dominic.
Touch her
That
and die.
man, like, Kate, make it a thing, please. Like,
I
please.
think, and I'm speaking it into the universe like the rest of us are. I think it might be in works. It might be in works. I don't know all the details, but there's been someone that keeps liking Kate's posts who is associated with a production company. I can't remember which one it is, but they're also affiliated with another model slash actor who I think everyone so far has reliably agreed would be a perfect casting for Sean.
Who?
Oh,
Of
Matthew
course I have to
Noska.
ask. Who knows that? I'm gonna have to look up so many names when we're done here. But we have to give out a shout out to Kate's
We
new
have to
book.
shout out Tyler. Wrapping
We
up
have
the
to
show and everything, we have to give a shout out for not only Birds of a Feather, but what was the name of the other one?
the
The prequel book. The
last rainy day.
no. It was because Tyler's getting 2 books.
Yeah,
He's
has she
getting a prequel
technically
novella and that one.
okay, so she's already debuted that one? Let
She's
me see.
she's put it out, but it's not gonna come. That one's
That
coming out before.
that is not Kate Stewart. What the fuck? Hey
Yeah,
there,
the
Samantha.
Green Book is coming out in 2025, but she's got a book that's gonna be before that one coming out in fall of 2024, which is like the beginning story of Tyler from like his childhood, his time in the military, and whatnot, leading up into that book.
I cannot find it at the moment, but
Hang on.
Birds of a Feather are like it's actually available for pre-order. So
Yes. The
and just make sure
For
you
some
go.
reason, the other one isn't yet, which really ticks me off, but I digress.
Mm, not everybody, you know, it's things. Things are things. I'm still looking to see if I can find it somewhere because you are right. She did debut it.
Severed Heart by Kate Stewart.
Okay. This is Dominic's book, which I'm trying to like bring up here if my screen will stop being a dog. There we go. One last rainy day. And I can honestly say there will never be there will never be two sadder like statements, period, than we love our rainy days, don't we, baby?
Oh, man, fuck you.
and fucking Sean's line at the Apple Festival where he says, you know, just wait for me. I'll, there will be a someday for us. There will be a someday for us, baby. And it's just like her looking at them through that chain link fence, getting into the car, and she mouths to Dominic, and he goes to take a step, and then just can't.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this: Kate Stewart can write a fucking heart wrenching moment better than any fucking person I've known. Like, I've said this before, and I will say it again. JL was right. I'm losing my voice. What happened? Need lubrication. And to actually be able to swallow the Red Bull properly.
Anyway, you said I'm right.
Yes, JL was right. These books leave a mark. But what is going on? These books leave a mark, but in the best possible way. Because
They really do.
they feel it's a very special thing to find a book that feels like a window into somebody's world. So you don't feel like you're reading a piece of fiction. You feel like you're reading more like a memoir. And that's what kind of enhances every character that you encounter and all of their interactions with each other. Because the whole cake thing with Dominic getting hit with the cake. Tyler was a part of that. And Sean was laughing his ass off and he was like, "It was good shit, baby." Like, but I mean, when he ran out there and he was like, "Are you going to let him fuck us up? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to let him fuck us up? Because it's up to you." And she's just like just screaming in anger. But then like to have him haul her back in there, like throw her over his shoulder, still covered in cake, and carry her upstairs. Bitch. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
even if it was pineapple upside down cake. Sean needs a better tasting cake.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up here, but I do feel that we do need to give credit where credit is due, because in this fall, we will be breaking into Tyler's first book, which is called Severed Hearts: The Birth of a Warrior. So it'll be covering, from what I have seen, it's going to go into like Tyler's origin and into him becoming the Marines, his relationship with Delphine. It's going to cover a large chunk, and then it'll flow into Birds of a Feather, which is his like individual like book, like a continuation from where it leaves off in the end of that one, and everything that gets tied up in the rest of the series. Now, any of y'all that are going to get into this book series, remember, before you read any of the legacy books, you have to read it in order. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are authors who say, yes, you can read these books as standalones, and you don't have to read anything to maintain part of the story. No. For this series alone, you have to read every single book for it to all make sense, because the way that the pieces fall, you're going to be like, oh snap. Oh
It's
snap. Wait.
intricate.
Now
It's
this
very
makes sense. Now and then you get into book 3 and it's like, oh crap, that's where this makes sense with these two making sense here. And then what the hell when you get to freaking One Last Rainy Day and you're seeing it from a different perspective and you're like, what? It's you have to read them in order.
So I will say this. I am very glad that you showed me these books, because they are books that I'll read again. It's gonna fucking hurt, but I will read them again. But the only reason why I haven't read Finish Line is because after Exodus, I was damaged in a big way. Like my react videos up on TikTok on the webpage. Go check it out if you want to cry, because you'll cry. But it I mean, I called her as soon as I finished it and was just like bawling and
She
sobbing,
was.
like, why? Like I think I screamed. Kate, I love you, but I threw your book.
She did.
Like I literally
Kate,
threw it
if
across
it
the room.
helps you feel any better, your writing nearly caused me to have a car accident when I came across that when I was listening to the audiobook on the way to work.
Why would that make her feel better?
Well, not necessarily like make her feel better, but I mean, like if it just goes to show how much your books have a hold on me and how much these characters mean to me, like
she was on this series wanting me to read this series from like the jump this year. She was like, you have to read this, you have to. And I was just like, okay, I'll read it. And
because
then
I've been on Flock for roughly about 2 years before I told you about it.
like I
And
mean
even then, back when we first started this, I was telling you, I'm like, dude, you gotta get into this. You gotta get into this.
yeah, she was just like, you have to. Like almost all of the book is highlighted. So yeah, like this book, it's something special. And it's the characters in it have, they leave an impact.
They really
It,
do.
not like every character that you read about in a book. They leave a significant impact that changes your perspective on some things. Like we all think some of the rich people are fucking assholes, but we don't look at them and look at the impact that they have on the global kind of, area around them. Like some people like I don't like Roman, but Roman was never false about what he was. I got to give him some credit for that. He knew he was an asshole. He knew he wasn't ready to be a dad. He knew he didn't want this. He knew. But then when
He did make an attempt
yeah,
to try and be there.
yeah.
Which you'll find out later on, because that doesn't get covered in book 1. That gets covered later on. So, spoilers.
Yeah.
Again,
So
you're already here.
make
So,
sure, yeah. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the channel.
do all the YouTubey things, do all the TikToky things, the Instagram things.
And go check out the merch things, because we have merch things. And me and JL are currently working on some new stuff to stick into merch.
Yes.
And if you buy a piece of merch, tag us on any of the socials. So make sure you tag us on Instagram. You can tag us, in a comment down here if you have anything else you want us to look at in pertaining to this book or to the characters. Just, like, subscribe, share, come have fun.
And we thank you again for coming and taking time out of your day and being a part of with us here. And on the flip side, catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.